Magik can be one of the most rewarding heroes in Marvel Rivals, but only if you know what you're doing. Magik, or Illyana, has been my favourite comic book character even before this game, and so I've been playing a lot of her since the game's release. I got her Lord icon sometime in Season 2, and she's the main character I've used to climb the ranks even while being a flex player. Today I'll be showing you all the things that I wish I knew when I was learning her, as well as a detailed ability breakdown, a guide to her best combos, and I'll even talk about her specific counters and synergies with other characters. If you enjoy this guide, please be sure to like and subscribe and ask any questions in the comments. I'll be sure to respond. With that being said, let's get into the guide. So the first thing I want to talk about with Magik is her Soul Sword. So it does pretty good damage. It's quite slow, but it's got good damage, and it has alright range. Just about 5 meters. However, the further away you are, the less damage you do. So just keep that in mind. Also, you'll notice that I am gaining a lot of bonus health for every hit. So every time Magik deals damage, she will gain bonus health. The max amount of bonus health you can gain from her passive is 150, meaning you can have a total of 400 health as a duelist. And it is very easy to get. You literally just deal damage, and that's kind of like the whole point of the character, to do damage. Second thing I want to talk about is the Magik Slash. It's her only projectile attack other than her team up, which we'll get onto later, and it's very powerful. It used to do more damage, but it could only ever hit one target. They've changed it, so now it does a bit less damage, but it can pierce. So if you don't charge it, it doesn't do too much damage. However, it will still pierce through enemies. It can pierce through an infinite amount of enemies too, so you don't need to worry about that. Unless you're using it for combos, you mainly want to be charging it up. It's really good for getting ult charge now, especially since Darkchild, her ultimate, is one of the quickest charging ultimates in the whole game. And if you can pierce with this consistently, doing lots of damage, it will be very good. The next ability I want to talk about is her Umbral Incursion, so her dash. So when you press her E, she will do a 15-meter dash in front of her. However, when you connect it with an enemy, it will send them flying into the air and deal about a third of their health, which can set you up for a lot of different combos. It's very good for engaging in fights. There are some really nice animation cancels you can do with it. It's a very good ability, and since it does a lot of damage, it will generate you a good chunk of bonus health too. The next ability I'm going to talk about are her portals. So when you press shift, she will do a dash in whatever direction that you're moving when you use the portals. If you just stay completely still, the portal will go forward. So it can go right, left, anywhere. After you enter the portal, you have a 3-second gap, and your right and left click will be transformed to 2 different abilities. So your left click is the Eldritch Whirl. It's just she attacks in a spin, doing a little bit of damage, about as much as a melee, generating you good bonus health, and attacking everyone. It's got a very good range, and it's a very good ability. The ability that you'll be using quite a lot more is her Demon Rage. Do not underestimate this thing, okay? It pierces, has really good range, right? 5-meter range. It can fully take out a lunar snow all on its own, and people just completely ignore it for some reason, because they think it's going to run out before they can actually be bothered to do anything about it. It's seriously powerful. Do not underestimate these little guys, okay? They have saved me a lot. You can only have one out at a time, so whenever I summon the next one, he disappears. If you just throw one in there against the enemy, it's bound to hit something. Also generates a lot of bonus health. Okay, Limbo's Might, the passive, is really good with this ability because it is consistent damage. Look how quickly I'm gaining that bonus health. I'm already at 400, and it just killed them. For Magik's ultimate, she will transform into Darkchild, and for 12 seconds, all of her abilities will be enhanced by a lot. So I'll go over them individually. Her Magic Slash does a lot more damage, but keeps the same short charge time and the piercing effect. Her normal attacks instead do sort of 3 slashes, even though it looks like she's only doing 1 slash. It actually counts as 3 separate attacks, meaning each individual slash can also be damage boosted, which is huge. And this is going to be getting you a lot of bonus health. Her Umbral Incursion worked a little bit differently. I'm just going to refer to it as her dash. So you'll notice instead of doing a little break beforehand, like I use the ability, I stop, and then I go up in the air, and I join them in the air like that. Instead of that, I just do it instantly, and I stay on the ground, sending them in the air, leaving for a follow-up attack. Really, really helpful. Finally, her portals. Her Eldritch Whirl is hugely increased in damage. Instead of doing 1 hit, it does 3 hits, but the same amount of damage per hit. So it literally just times it by 3, and I've just increased my bonus health so much from that 1 hit. And then the next ability isn't really that helpful. The Demon's Rage, you actually don't want to be using this at all. I would always stick to just using this. But all of the cooldowns are greatly reduced in this ability. Like you'll be able to just keep spamming her most of her abilities. I'll talk more about that in the advanced techniques section though. Her final ability, which is one that she got not too long ago, is the Chain of Sitarak, where she will shoot this projectile, which has unlimited range, by the way. Unlimited range. And when hit on a single enemy, it'll do a decent chunk of damage. It won't do anything on a single enemy, as you can see. But when used on 2 enemies nearby, it actually chains them together and it does a bit more damage, leading to things like this happening. It groups the enemies together, allowing for Magik to get a lot more value out of her abilities, like so. You do need a Doctor Strange in your team in order for it to be activated, but it's a very popular team up already. I've seen a lot of players use the team up because it has Scarlet Witch in it, and she's a very popular character. But if you don't have the team up, it's not the end of the world. It is a nice DPS increase, but it's not the end of the world if you don't have it. Okay, so now for probably the main reason that you might have clicked on this video. I'll be talking about Magik's combos, some easy ones and some more advanced ones, but they're all pretty similar. And they have a very quick time to kill, especially on squishy characters. You would mainly be using these on support like Luna Snow or Invisible Woman. However, if you want to use it on a DPS, even a tank if they're quite low, go for it. So the first one you want to do is, so you want to be behind a wall, pretend there's a wall here. Magic Slash, Umbral Incursion, Primary Fire, Melee. Melees are incredibly important for Magik, okay? Because they will significantly increase your DPS if you just weave in melees. I would highly recommend that you go into your settings and you bind your melee button to something easy, like I've got it as my side mouse button, so I can just click it really easily. But just have it something you can easily access, and always try and be weaving in those melee attacks. Okay, so sped up, this looks something like this. Next combo, it's a little more complicated, but this is the Magik bread and butter combo. Okay, this is probably the most common combo you will ever see, and it works so well. I use it, everyone uses it, okay? So it's a little bit complicated, but just a couple minutes in the practice range and you should be good to go. So it's Portal, Eldritch Whirl, then you dash during that animation, okay? Whatever you do, do not dash and then do it. As soon as you start the animation, dash, because it will still hit the enemy, like that. So the full combo, shift, this, primary attack, melee, and slash. You can mix it up a bit, you know, you can mix it up a little bit if you want. Here's a combo which utilizes the team up, which I've actually recently figured out. It's a teeny bit, it's a little bit faster than her normal one. Oh, I messed it up, but that works. Just because it's an instant thing and it's an animation cancel. Of course, if you do use that combo and there's another person there, that's just sort of a bonus thing. And then you can use your magic slash for something else. So this next combo, it has a very fast time to kill. It actually uses the demon instead. However, because it uses the demon, it's a little bit easier for the enemy to dodge, or they can just kill the demon completely. But here it is anyway. So it's demon, primary attack, umbral incursion, melee. Again, demon, primary attack, umbral incursion, melee. And they should die from that. Demon, primary attack, umbral incursion, melee. Then once they go back on the floor, if they're for some reason not alive, you still have the magic slash. You can just do stuff like this. For ult combos, this is quite important as well. You have a lot of one-shot potential with Magik in her ult. Magic slash, umbral incursion, that kills through support ults. Okay, if you can hit it, like say Cloak and Dagger has just finished their animation for their ult, Invis, if you have all the bonus health off of Mantis and Luna's ult, this will kill through their ult, but you need to be really quick about it, okay? It will take a lot of practice, but it's insane. Another one that I like, it's a bit easier. That one's probably her easiest one. So that's just Eldritch Whirl into Umbral Incursion, and bonus it damages enemies around. Another one that's quite simple. It won't kill them, but it'll leave them very low and susceptible to follow-up attacks. It's so fast, so easy to hit. Yeah. So again, that's primary attack into Umbral Incursion. So that's all for the main combos. You can just get very experimental with Magik. Similar to Spider-Man, you know, over time, when you have about 5 or 6 hours of playtime on Magik, you'll start to just develop this it's like Spidey sense, but for Magik. Okay, you'll know what combos will be good for what situation. You'll learn to improvise on the fly. Like a lot of the time, you know, ideally you want to hit a combo like that, right? But most of the time you can't, so you've got to improvise using your remaining abilities. And she does have very forgiving cooldowns as well. So now we're going to move on to some advanced tips and techniques, which they will make your Magik gameplay so much smoother. You'll get so much more damage, and yeah, I know I've already mentioned it, but the melee, the primary attack with the weaving and melees is so important. It'll increase your damage by quite a considerable margin. Something really important, which I would definitely consider, is use your demon a lot. The Demon's Rage is an insane ability, and you want to be using this unless you're in a combo and you're trying to combo on enemies like so. You do not want to be using this, okay, because it puts you in a pretty vulnerable position. You can't really move too much. It doesn't do too much damage. It's literally only a melee's worth of damage, and it's consistent, but it's really not what you want to be looking for. That's a mistake that I was making a lot during the beginning, using her Eldritch Whirl more than the Demon's Rage, okay? The Demon's Rage, I would actually suggest, say this Mantis is trying to run away, okay, so they're trying to get over here. I would use your portal and face the demon this way, so it's facing the Mantis as they're trying to get away. That will be some really good damage, and it will catch them off guard as well. Because you, when you're doing this, you are faster than most characters in the game. They're trying to run this way. Just took them out. And that's on top of, you know, all of this. So altogether, imagine they're running. That would look something like that. However, what I just said about using the Demon's Rage more than the Eldritch Whirl completely flips around in her role, okay? Because the Eldritch Whirl in her role is amazing. The Demon's Rage is good, don't get me wrong, but it's not too much of an increase from her normal. Like, it has the same range, just a little bit more damage. Lastly, with her ult, I did forget to mention this, but you cannot use your melee attack as of Season 5.5. I hope that they change this in the future, because that would be really, really helpful. But, yeah, you can't. However, you can use the team up in the ult. It doesn't get enhanced, but it can be good. What I would actually recommend doing, you can go for the specific combos that I taught you, but honestly, something really, really good. Just get in there, do a bunch of Eldritch Whirls. That's going to do loads of stuff. In a similar fashion to the Thor guide, I'm going to be sort of talking about her counters, who she's particularly good against. Unfortunately, Marvel Rivals is a PvP game. You can choose many different characters infinitely. So in a game like Valorant, once you pick a character, you can't swap. Marvel Rivals, you can swap your character whenever you'd like. And there are always going to be people that counter swap, so they pick characters that specifically counter the one that you're using, so they have a better chance of winning. It's so annoying, but at the end of the day, it's just the game. It's just how it works. So she's not good against all Vanguards. Try and stay away from Vanguards as much as possible, other than Bruce Banner. Not Hulk, Bruce Banner. You can go for him, don't go for Hulk. Particularly, you want to avoid, like, these are characters that especially counter her. Penny, she is the anti-dive, right? She can set up nests, do huge damage, huge unexpected damage with mines. She can cancel a lot of Magik's animations with the web. Really, really annoying. Emma Frost, again. Emma Frost is just a very meta character right now. She always will be, I think. She is very anti-melee, anti-dive. You know, if you try and get close to her, she'll just turn into a diamond, choke slam you. Okay. Similar vein with Angela. She's very anti-melee, because if you try and threaten her, she will just fly in the air. Right? It's pretty good. You've got a pretty good matchup against Doctor Strange, because yeah, he can fly away, but since you're a melee character, you can hit through his shield. You can't do that with Cap. You can't do that with Magneto. You can with his. For DPS, she's good against Punisher, specifically when he's in his turret form, because she can just pop a demon on it. Storm, not really that great against. Hawkeye, it just depends on the Hawkeye. Hela, she's not great against her. For DPS, she's particularly bad against Hawkeye, Wanda, Bucky, Namor. Namor is the anti-Magik, okay? Because he has squids, which Magik would need to waste her only projectile on. And also, he can just get away using his invincibility. Okay. All flying characters, quite frankly, especially ones like Johnny, Storm, those slimmer hitboxes than someone like Iron Man. And also, Johnny just is a lot more mobile, you know, he moves a lot faster. I wouldn't be challenging any flying characters as Magik. You don't have a very good matchup against Blade, since he will attack a lot faster than you. He has lifesteal, right? And you just don't have the damage for that. Supports, she's good against all of them, really. I mean, she's not great against Ultron. Loki, if you can catch him when he's used his runes already, then it's a free kill, basically. Rocket has a smaller hitbox, so it's a little bit harder to hit, but when you do, he's basically defenseless. Jeff, it really depends. Because normally, when he's just, you know, walking around like this, it's so easy. But as soon as he does this, you cannot use your Umbral Incursion on him once he is in that state. One last thing I want to quickly mention about Magik, as I think it's really important. It's important for most dive characters, but especially her, is her positioning and where you want to be throughout the fight. Because she is a dive character, you want to mainly be behind the enemy backlines, trying to focus down weak supports like Mantis and Invis. And if you can't do that, you can just teleport away, but it is crucial that you are constantly focusing their supports, weakening their backline, because once their supports are gone, their whole team will crumble because they can't constantly be healed like they need to be. I also think it's very underrated to be playing alongside your tanks, since Magik can just get so much bonus health easily, and very quickly, mind you, just from a few combos, and also she can just play very aggressively. It's definitely a viable tactic to be sort of in the front lines with your team, because you can just output so much damage. You know, you're a melee character, you want to be up in their faces anyway, and you're constantly being healed because your healers are trying to heal your tanks at the same time, so it works out. Sorry if my voice does sound a bit funny, I'm currently trying to get over a cold, and also I'm just really tired. My upload schedule might be a bit all over the place, but I can guarantee at least one video a week, even if they are quite spaced apart. I know the Thor guide was a few days ago. I did start work on this video as soon as I uploaded the Thor video, because there was some pretty positive feedback from that, but I've just been really busy catching up with college work and all sorts really. That being said, I do really appreciate any feedback, all support is really nice to hear, as it motivates me to keep on going, and it lets me know that the type of content that I'm doing is good. I'm always trying to improve, my editing is getting a little bit better, but I am very new to this, so all support and feedback is really helpful to me, so thank you. The next video I do will be slightly different. I was thinking of making a Season 5.5 tier list of all the characters. I'll be splitting it into two tier lists, one for lower ranks like Bronze, Silver and Gold, and then one for the slightly higher ranks like Grandmaster, Eternity, stuff like that. If you have any characters that you'd like me to specifically make a video guide on, or you just want to see a certain type of content from me, do let me know, as I'm a bit of a flex player. Of course, my best character is Magik, but I do play all of the characters at a pretty high level, so if you do need help, then just let me know, shoot me a comment. Thank you so much for watching until the end. If you've made it this far, I really appreciate it, it helps a lot. If you did like the video and you want to see more things like this, be sure to like and subscribe, and with that being said, I will see you in the next video. Bye!